Todas las noches las consecuencias de tus acciones mejoraron el estado de salud del distrito. El nivel puede verse reducido a causa de las enfermedades de los ciudadanos. Cuanta más vidas arrebates, peor será el nivel de salud de un distrito. Si el salud de un distrito se encuentra por debajo del nivel crítico, se sumirá en el caos. Tú decides su destino.
Research is complete. I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Nurse, this room is off limits, and I'd prefer to keep it that way. Make sure the rest of the staff are so informed.
Of course, Doctor. And what about the antiseptics? Or do I inform the staff that you're too busy?
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Tranca.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Vamos a la farmacia.
I cannot enter.
Y tengo que hacer también el tratamiento ese para... Ah, ¿puedo pasar? No. Para el agotamiento del loquito este.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody...
A ver cuánto me curo. Ah, me curo. Ok, gradualmente me curo. Ok. Excelente. Estoy fuerte, pa, Milton y Pipa siempre juntos. ¿Mira?
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Toma. ¿Qué pasó? Me caí. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué hago nuevo acá? Estaba preparado para pelear.
It's locked.
Acá. Ahí está. La antigua morde. Estable.
It's locked, all right.
Ok, nada por acá. Ya requisé todo, vamos a subir.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Sí, igual entre los vampiros y la gripe están hasta la reverenda chota.
Access to the basement.
Están hasta las remanos. Uf, amigo.
It's locked. Bowls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
No. ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué mierda fue eso?
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not our blood.
Ok. Carajo. Acá. Quinina, mira, ese era que necesitaba para... ¿Qué hace ruido eso? ¿En serio? Ah.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report.
Has conseguido un nuevo tipo de arma para la mano izquierda. Equípala para absorber sangre directamente.
I'd better look into this.
Okay. Uf, uf, uf. Excelente.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Analiza esto. Ahí había algo para... ¿No? Había... esto. Fórmula enigmática. Excelente. Bien. Acá. Excelente. Pegamos un poquito de sangre. Bien. Bien, 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 bien. Excelente, che. Matamos al boss sombra. Hay que ir... Hay que encontrar la cartera esa. Jajaja. Ah, ya está, ya la tengo, o sea, ok, yo soy un boludo, claro, era la foto. Está bien. Ah, acá está, mira.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
Y necesito nivel... Ok.
I'd like to see your goods.
What?
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
How painful.
So painful, I'd rather...
I have to go.
Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Miss.
Yes, Doctor?
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Please, could you...
It's the law.
Please, could...
It's...
Exactly how bad...
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
That's all for now.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
¿Qué toca hacer ahora? Esto tengo que hacer. No olvides que la sangre de un ciudadano te proporciona un impulso masivo de experiencia. Busca ciudadanos con un nivel igual o inferior a tu nivel de cautividad. ¿Tengo ya nivel 2? No. no, no, no. Ah, me están peleando ahí. Ok. Ay, ay, ay. No, 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 no. Ay, mira vos. Ay, ay, ay.
Crush the leech, boys!
Está. Pelense. Excelente. Ay, ay, ay. Dale. Por favor, amigo. Bien.
Come on, petty mortals. Come and face your final fate.
Go on! Back to the shadow! The beast must die!
No.
Fear no evil! We do the Lord's work here! Have faith!
Eso. Dale.
We have a killer! Stop! Vampire!
Amigo, qué complicado que está esto. Por favor. ¡Ah! Por favor.
Are you all right, Miss Howcroft?
They were tracking me, hunting me down. After the death of Thomas, they came to the hospital. They said I
Mira.
killed him.
But you're safe now.
No.
Those men won't bother you anymore, I promise.
Did you hear them? They recognized me as a vampire. I knew it. I knew it.
No. Those hunters would have made a huge mistake if they had killed you.
I'm not crazy. I knew there was something wrong with me. I need to tell the doctors about this.
Perdida. Pista bloqueada. Re intensa la pelea, amigo. La verdad. Objetivo equivocado. Excelente. La verdad que me reengancho este juego. Está bárbaro, gente. Está muy bueno. Hospital Pembroke. Superado. Superado. ¿Acá puedo entrar? No. Oh. Ah, a ver, pará. Sí, a ver si puedo investigar acá donde está el loquito este. Fue clave hacer que se pelearan, si no, no había chance. Cuarentena. Ay. No me dice mucho. Si en última les pregunto a los locos y después me fijo. Y tengo este. Dirígete a la farmacia.
I cannot enter.
Speak English, do ya? Get them weapons ready! What's that?
No, tengo que ir por el puente. No, por atrás. Por el puente no, por atrás. Por acá atrás. ¿Por acá? Sí, ponele. Mierda, pega, pero... Che, sería bueno un mejor arma, porque esta no pega nada, amigo. ¡Upa!
This is an impressive knife. There's a name engraved on the metal. Clay. What kind of man puts his name?
¿Puedo usarlo? 45. No.
On a knife.
No. No, no, todavía no. Ni a palo. Me van a redar. Y... tengo... Mira, acá... Ah, mira. Perfecto.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
I have found a gift from your wife.
In that case, you'll be properly rewarded, Doc. Clay Cox is a man of his word.
I hope that won't make me an accomplice to your future crimes.
Who knows what I might do now I feel invincible again.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
Este re picante, este
What
chabón.
did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother.
Ah, traca.
Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Clay asesina a la mano del hombre que intentó matarlo.
You're a monster, Mr. Cox. An ungrateful and disgusting man.
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. As long as I'm treated alright, I'll be fine.
Te voy a quedar comiendo.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part
Me
of
voy a
the
quedar
job.
comiendo cuando tenga las
Must be
pistas,
an
forro.
unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions.
Está.
The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Clay pretende seguir siendo uno de los líderes de la banda tras su recuperación.
I'll leave you.
The patients are not fools. They know we...
Good evening, Dr. Tim.
Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Doc. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
I'd like...
Wise choice.
Perfecto. Ah, y esta es la otra. A ver, ¿qué me dice? ¿Qué pasó? No, se retiró, amigo.
Good evening.
Ah, está.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Bueno, su vida en Londres. ¿Cómo es la situación acá?
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Kokora está convencido que aspira mucho más. Está excedido y se niega a dejar de trabajar.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire.
Sí,
One
mal.
might say a gift from heaven.
Irónico.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Nos necesitamos uno al
I'm
otro.
not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Médico por error. Las habilidades médicas de Turo fueron cuestionadas en el pasado. Acá sí, este está medio raro.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just...
Then ask away.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Well, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. they do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find
Oh, dijo
yourself
Penny
in.
Dreadful. Pueden matarme el sol, sí, pa.
The morning.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skull, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A Skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
We'll see each other.
Sí, como...
It's locked.
Ah,
It's
mierda.
locked, all right. It's locked, all right. The flower's dying. It needs water.
No. No, 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 no. Tranca, no, no quiero dormir. Todavía no. Puede mejorar tu arma a un nuevo nivel, con los componentes necesarios. Infligirá más daño y podrás acceder a las ranuras de personalización. Excelente. Aumenta el daño infligido un 10%. Mira. Ah. Qué bien. ¿Y esta podré mejorarla? Sí. Ay, qué lástima. ¿Y esta yo puedo? Agotamiento. Cefalea. Migraña. Migraña, cefalea. Agotamiento. Sepsis, Agotamiento. No, no, no. Y esto me falta.